Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're excited to introduce Itisha Chowdhury, a community leader, law professional, teacher, and Miss Canada South Asia crown holder, whose life story is rooted in resilience and purpose. Having overcome a congenital heart condition, Itisha has turned every challenge into an opportunity to inspire and uplift others. In part 1 of this conversation, we talk about what bouncing back really looks like, the mindset needed to overcome adversity, and the experiences that shaped the woman she is today. This is the story of strength, perseverance, and becoming your best self.
So, welcome, Miss Itisha. I'm so glad to have you here. Honestly, I feel like I don't have any comments at this moment. Like, you bring in that queen aura, that queen energy, and I'm sure the viewers are gonna get to know more about Itisha as we dive into what sort of scenario and things that you've been through. I went through your portfolio, and just for our viewers to know, I'm so impressed by seeing, areas and the experience that you bring in as a law professional, as a teacher, as women empowerment advocate, and then 3 times you ended up winning the Community Leadership Award, which is so phenomenal.
Right.
And as her appearance may say it all, she also comes from the pageant industry, and I'm just in the awe of your beautiful crown. And you ended up winning the Miss Canada South Asia 2024, besides some other titles, right? And we can definitely dive deep into
Absolutely.
how your journey has been. So yeah, let's quickly dive into and see what her personal and professional journey brings her here and the aura that she carries, and what's the secret behind her magnetism.
Well, I'm honestly extremely honored to be here at this moment. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to shine.
That's very kind of you. That's honestly very kind of you.
Oh, no, of course. And I was very excited to come here today. I was at work and I was just looking at the time and I'm like, when do I finish work?
Oh my God, you were excited. In fact, for me as well, I was excited for this part of the day. I was like, okay, in the evening it's going to be fun recording this. So,
yeah. Well, last time I was here, I remember we did the Women's Day talk show. Exactly. And I had a lot of fun. And you're amazing. You're actually truly amazing. I love the way you speak. I love the way you bring, a lot of positivity. And I really instantly connected with you.
Oh, that's so sweet. I feel like it's more so like a soul speaking to a soul. So wonderful. That's the aura you're creating, the queen energy that you're bringing in here. So yeah, we're gonna dive deep into your personal journey. So, lots of things to talk about, and I just don't know where to start from and what to start with. So, we know the way, anytime there's a breakthrough in life, there's a lot that happens behind the scenes. It's usually what people see is the climax. What they see is like, oh wow, this is so wonderful, this is so beautiful. Mm-hmm. But there's always something that happens behind the scenes, or which is happening, underneath or under the cover, and people do not know about that. And that's something which personally intrigues me a lot. And I'm like, okay, what went into the making of what you are today?
Yeah.
So I'm very curious just to know, in terms of the fact that, because last time when you were there as a panelist, you did mention about surviving a heart condition.
Correct.
Right? And then also something abusive which was in your life. Mm-hmm. But even besides that, was there a moment in life that broke you through open? Mm-hmm. Not in terms of broke you down or made you feel like bad about yourself, but was there something which was like, this is an opening within me? Mm-hmm. Where we talk about the breaking phase. So where you felt like something just broke you open from within, rather than breaking you down in a negative sense, if you're willing to.
Oh yeah, where do we start?
There's so much to.
Yeah, I mean, listen, life is all about experiences, journey, and what we learn right, from our journey.
Right.
So yes, there has been multiple events, and I'm not here just, because I woke up one morning and I had this crown and, I'm feeling really good about myself every single day. It's not every day like that, trust me.
100%.
I do have a family, I do have my life. So, there's a lot of like ups and downs. But I'll go back to what you asked, but I will just say one thing, that for me, how I function is that regardless of what I'm going through, regardless of what my life is presenting to me at the moment, for me what matters is how I'm feeling at this current moment. If I'm present at this current moment, if I'm breathing at this current moment, as long as I can feel myself, I can breathe, I can see, I can eat, I can smile, I think I can do everything. There's so many people in this life that don't have this kind of opportunity, and yeah, every single day there's something, there's something that you get upset about, that annoys you. You just get out of your house, somebody can just yell at you for no reason, just because.
Very true, very true. And that shifts your entire energy for the day, even
absolutely, absolutely. And I've seen this many times, my family members, there are plenty of people that actually allow other people to get to them, But at the end, you have to, always tell yourself that I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have another day. Don't let other people get to you. But yes, no, to go back to what you were saying, yes, I have had, many obstacles in life. I grew up with a hole in my heart. I was born actually with a hole in my heart, and I grew up, and at the age of 5, I went through an open heart surgery. That happened in India, Bangalore. I don't quite remember my childhood just because I was extremely sick. And growing up, this is a little bit disgusting, but I was
No, but that's the reality, and it's really important to talk about those things.
Yeah. And thank you for giving me
and
this.
thank you for sharing that, honestly.
Of course. Thank you for giving me this platform to actually talk about my life, which I feel it's extremely kind of you to give me that. So yeah, to go back to my life story, I grew up sick. I did not have a regular childhood like every other children you see having. I was extremely sick, throwing up blood, on the verge of dying. And it's actually funny because my mom was talking about my childhood the other day, not too long ago, maybe 2 days ago, the day before yesterday, and she was just all of a sudden started talking about her experience, what she went through as a mother, what she did to keep me alive, and then my father shows up in the kitchen. We're all in the kitchen just talking about my surgery, my childhood, and I'm just there listening and just wondering as a mother what she went through. Obviously me as a kid, I was the sick kid, I was the one throwing up, I was the one, not being able to breathe. But as a mother, when she explained, and as I'm saying this, I'm actually getting goosebumps. When she was saying that she had to always keep her hand on my nose just to make sure that I'm breathing, just to make sure that her child is alive. And the moment she took me to Bangalore, by the way, I was born in Bangladesh, and at the time back, I'm talking about in the 1991, 92 treatments, were as advanced as it is today. Yeah, exactly. And over there, if you have, and it's really sad to say that. If you have a cold, they'll suggest you to take off your kidney. Just it's really sad to say that, but even the doctors are always like looking to. Anyway, I don't want to speak for everybody, but that's what my mother went through. When she was told that I needed a surgery, there were actually in Bangladesh experimental surgery happening. So they took money from my mother and told my mom that I will be fine, I will be okay.
Yeah.
And the moment she gets into the hospital, she finds out that I was actually one of the child on the list as a donor. So they're taking money from my mom, and they have, they were giving me for research. And this was not told to my mom, and I don't know how she found out. She had this mother instinct, and she just ran out of the hospital. And that same very night, apparently there was there was a rainstorm happening in '95 in Bangladesh, and water was all the way up to the third floor. Buildings were drowned. So my mom took a ferry, like a boat, and she went all the way to the train station, called my uncle, told him to bring my passport and her passport, and she just went to India. She didn't wait for anybody. I don't know what, she was saying, like, I don't know what told me, but something told me to get out of there. And I took you and I ran and I left. And she took me to Bangalore, and she ended up, anyway, her story is extremely long. I can spend the entire night, just like she was talking the other day, it took hours and hours of, and it was so beautiful just hearing my mom, the way she was explaining her experience, the way she fought for my life, the way she, she was so strong. She did it all alone, actually. My dad wasn't there. He was here in Canada. He was the provider, because he had to provide. He had to send money, and he was making sure that he does his part. Because without him, my surgery wouldn't happen, right? So anyway, so I'm extremely grateful, and my doctor happened to be one of the like first #1 surgeon in the world right now. And I was actually thinking the other day that I'll reach out to him. I'll reach out to him and I'll tell him, like,
100%.
Yeah.
He's going to be so happy about it. And honestly, as you're telling me this story, firstly, thank you for sharing. You literally have tears in the eyes at this moment.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
I feel like your mom is a warrior. And so are you. And she plays a huge role, and so does your entire family, and your dad playing a huge role in your success today. It's just phenomenal to see the exemplary resilience that has been demonstrated not only by you but by your entire family. I mean, I just wanna hug her.
Oh, that is so sweet of you. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that.
Honestly, of course. I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, as you're telling me about this experience, and I'm sure it's not been easy. And it's a different juncture in life now when you reflect back and you see how your journey unfolded, right, and where you are today. So this leads me on to think about the fact that sometimes, as you were mentioning, gratitude just for the ability to live, just for the ability to see the world out there, for our organs functioning. It's people usually would say that. Again, not for everyone, but it's very natural for us to get entangled in our so-called busy buzzword, busy lives, and we're like, oh, things are not working out in my favor, and life is never in my favor, everyone is doing great, I see social media posts, everyone's life is perfect, mine always sucks. So, when scenarios like these happen, what kind of mindset shift happens right after that? Even after that, when they have a lot of things in life, they still feel like, being in your own bubble, in your own shell. Sometimes I do that, and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, things are not working out in my favor, it's just, everything is shitty, everything is hell. How do you make sure that you stay on that path? Is there some, secret mantra or some? Of course there is none, but I'm just, trying to sneak in that word. But what are your insights about that, like based on your experience?
Absolutely, and I'm really happy that you asked this question, to be honest, because, and believe it or not, it's a battle, it's a mind battle. You have to snap out of it, you have to tell yourself that, for me, like the way you asked, for me, my mantra is, everything will work out.
I love that. You know, the universe is working in your favor. Actually, I was listening to some other person in a different podcast, and she mentioned about this. Train yourself to believe in that the universe is working in your favor, even when you don't feel like it.
Oh yeah, and I am a true believer of that because ever since I decided to say it will work out, things are just working out. I mean, I might not get it right away. I might not.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I might not. You know, trust me. There are times where I'm rejected, I'm refused, I'm not accepted.
Happens to all of us.
To all of us, to the best of us. But at the end, yes, it is disappointing. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you know, like that.
No, it's okay.
I'm not here to lie with you, right? The truth is, it does hurt because nobody likes to be rejected.
I cried very badly. For 2 days, I just shut down.
And that's okay. And honestly, that's okay. That's extremely, it's all about how you feel. You need to also feel the rejection. Because once you feel the rejection, that's the only time you're actually going to be happy for your achievement. Because without rejection, without refusal, your achievements are not going to feel like achievements. Because if you keep receiving everything you ask for, there's no fun in that.
100%. The spiciness of life, it just, goes away. 100%. I really love that. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I've had days too where I'm like, oh, why is this happening to me? And you talked about social media. Social media is a huge impact in our today's generation, today's date, today's life, and especially me being a crown holder and with all these titles that I come from, or I have to be very present on social media.
Right, 100%.
And when I look at myself and I'm also looking at my friends that are doing amazing and I'm really happy for them and I cheer for them, and then sometimes I'm like, why aren't people cheering for me like the way I'm cheering for
I
others?
feel that too,
Yeah.
it's like, you're just talking about something that I sometimes feel like I show up for people or, I'll be kind to them, but then the way they behave, it's like, that's unfair.
Yeah.
That's unjust.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's your suggestion? I'm sure people would have that feeling too.
And that's okay because we're all human beings and we have feelings, and your feelings does get hurt when you keep doing for other people, when you are showing up for others, when you're the only one that's like cheering up for your friends, but your friends are not cheering up for you. And that's okay. It's okay to feel that way.
That strikes very hard.
Yeah, and again, like that's how you learn and you grow and you keep in mind who's cheering for you, and who's not. Because the ones that are cheering for you, those are the ones that you're gonna remember for the rest of your life. And the ones that are not, they don't belong in your book.
Beautiful. They just for a season, sometimes I convince myself in a way, but honestly, it's a true reflection as well. Sometimes it's just people are there for a season. They come and teach you something about yourself.
Yeah.
So, going back to my own experience, professional experience, which was abusive, it taught me something about myself that I was like, oh, I didn't know that about me.
Yeah.
And then, you rise from that, the strength that comes with all the experience that you've had. It taught you something about it.
Yeah.
About your hidden potential, the hidden treasure that we have. So for sure.
Yeah. It's all about growth. It's all about learning the experience and growing from it. A lot of us don't know how to do that.
100%.
And that's why there's depression that exists. That's why there is hatred that exists. That's why there is, there's a lot of negativity around us that exists just because a lot of people don't know how to grow from, lessons. And some of us know. Some of us, just knows that, okay, let me take this day. I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling myself today.
Right.
I just need one day, one single day, and then tomorrow I'll be fine.
Right, that kind of approach.
Yeah.
Like, I used to cry. I used to literally cry for nights. And then again, I used to wake up and be like, Shangi, keep going.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. Keep going.
Yeah.
Sometimes the feelings literally hijack us. And that's where the emotions, yes, they are our guiding points. But it's not like, I am this emotion and I'm going to sit with this and I won't change. Your feelings, your thoughts, we are the detached observer. I always have this question anytime I'm in a conversation. Like, do you have a switch off, power off button for your thoughts.
What an incredible conversation with Itisha. Her journey reminds us that resilience isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about growing through them and finding purpose on the other side. But this is only part one. In part two, we go even deeper into the mindset behind overcoming failure, managing the thoughts that hold us back, and embracing the unexpected twists that make each life's journey unique. Until then, keep believing in your story, and we'll see you in part two.